zone podcast. In the zone. In the zone. In the zone podcast. 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 In the zone. In the zone. In the zone podcast. In the zone. In the zone. In the zone podcast. In the zone. In the zone. In the zone podcast. In the zone. In the zone. In the zone podcast. 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 In the zone. In the zone. In the zone podcast. In the zone. In the zone. In the zone.
What up, y'all? What up? What up? What up? Welcome to another episode of the In the Zone Podcast. It is your boy B Foster. Brian Foster's in the building. Hey, happy Wednesday. Happy to see you here. It is hot outside. It is not messing around the summertime shot. We got some nice weather going. We got some heat going on. I know some of y'all driving some buckets. I hope your air conditioning working. Man, if not, go get some Freon. Come to my crib. I'll put it in for you. $100. Anyway, hey, I hope everything is good. I'm excited about this show. We got one more guest coming. But Sean brought this show up to my attention. She thought it would be a great idea for me to sit in with three ladies to have a discussion about. No, Sean Watson. Yeah, look at Jesse. To have a discussion about first dates, do's, and don'ts. This was actually piggybacking off a conversation that one of our guests had a week or two ago. We'll follow up on that in a second. But let's play this quick video, and we'll come back to the conversation. They here.
This weekend.
If it's gonna be a thing, we ain't gonna worry about it.
I'm gonna bring y'all back now.
Yep. Hey y'all, so we had a little bit of a technical difficulty. The volume wasn't working, so we're not gonna worry about it. We might play it a little bit later.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. See, my audio tech said he got it going on. He gonna get us right back to it. Give us 2 seconds. Let's see if this works.
Okay.
With brown skin, how you doing? Straight up, it's like that shit good, man. Jack, my bad. They shooting baddies out. I'm trying to fix. My bad. So that's slick. I put that out. What? Niggas get some cardies in the bucket, don't know how to act. Oh yeah, me too. I just finish it off.
Why we step here? Why we pulling up at the Westin?
Cause I got a room.
For what?
I mean, we was downtown. Why not get a room?
No. First of all, I'm on my period. Ain't nothing about to go down.
I don't care about that. Everybody's scared of your blood.
No. Take me home. No. I gotta get up in the morning and get my kids and everything. What are you talking about? We not about to do none of that.
I'm saying you can't come up for a minute.
Take me home now. I don't even know what the fuck you thought you was about to get some ass tonight.
At least come up for a minute and chill.
Nigga, take me home. Niggas take me to a river walk and get some weekend ice cream and think they about to get some for tonight? Absolutely not. Take me home.
I just want to chill.
Take me home, please. Just take me home. Like, you just fucked it all up. No, take me home. Are you serious? Hello?
All right, man.
God, believe these niggas. Detroit niggas, I swear to God, they do a little something for you, then they think they supposed to get some pussy. They gotta wait and book the room. I mean, like, who does that without even checking with me first? Like, it was just really gonna be on the floor like that. The fuck you thought? Take me home. My babies need me. Shit. I'm irritated.
You owe me for that ice cream.
Boy,
You know what? You owe me for that ice cream, though, for sure. I want my money back on that ice cream. You got 2 scoops on that ass too. It's sprinkles and shit. Anyway, hey y'all, I want to play that. I thought that was kind of funny. But as Tahani was saying while we were playing it, she was like, typical, right? Mm-hmm. Typical. Mm-hmm. So let's dive in right there. I got a few listed questions, but I want to talk about this right there. How often have you all come across where a man's done some cute dating, bare minimum, even went out his way a little bit, and then expected on the first date he should be having sex with you? I'm not coming to you first. Absolutely not. Chicken.
Yes, that has happened. Unfortunately, I call it. Thanks. Unfortunately, I call it. Love bombing or whatever. Where we went on this date. He's like, well, we had a conversation beforehand, and I was telling him like my vision board. I was telling him some things in which that I desired for my future. And again, we talked a few times before this first date, right? And I said on my vision board, he's like, well, tell me some of the things on your vision board. He was like, okay, well, it's weapons and this dope body and Tiffany's necklaces and
Did you say
stuff.
Weapons?
Yes. Yes.
Was the first thing you said weapons?
But weapons was,
Okay.
This was a while ago.
Just make sure I heard you right.
Hey, I got everything I ever wanted on my vision board. I'm just saying.
All right.
But so, I had all these things. So I was, telling him about these things. So he was like, okay, well, we're going to hang out on Friday, and it's going to be, we're going to call it, let's just call it dreams come true. right? I think that's what he called it. Dreams do come true. And I was like, what does that mean? You know, I wasn't thinking of it because he just first date, very first date.
Mm-hmm.
First date, we went out for steak dinner.
Mm-hmm.
First, like straight up, we went in like, oh my god, Capitol Grill, by the way.
I like Capitol.
And I'm like, wow, this is pretty interesting. You know, I didn't even eat steak at the time. So it was kind of like, wow, I kind of told you before that I didn't eat steak,
right.
You brought me to a steak dinner, but okay, you know, maybe you want a steak, you know. And of course I didn't eat it because.
Wait, did he buy you steak?
Yes, we ordered the steak. He ordered for me.
He ordered for you?
Yes, it was.
He ordered you steak even though you'd already told him?
I already said,
all right.
Yeah, I didn't want steak.
Gotcha.
But anyway, we ordered that.
Strike one.
We went to some little outfit place. Where you would go and buy an outfit, and so it was kind of like, wow, you buying your clothes now? Okay, well, I'm like, I'm not interested. He's like, yeah, pick out something. I'm like, okay. And so then,
was it a store you would have normally shopped in?
No.
Okay, strike two.
And then we took a little turn, and went into, we're on Michigan Avenue, by the way. Mm-hmm. We took a little corner turn and went into Tiffany's. Okay. And so I was like, wow. And in my head, I'm thinking, dreams do come true. So is that where he going with this? I'm like, okay. And so then we go upstairs. And so he's like, okay, well, you know, because when you go into Tiffany's, downstairs is like a different vibe. Mm-hmm. You know, different money downstairs. So you got to go upstairs.
That's the common folk downstairs.
It's the uncommon folk. It ain't in my price range, but all the diamonds and stuff is down, you know, first floor. So you go upstairs where the silver is. And so I'm like, oh my goodness. And so I finally get a chance to get this necklace that I wanted. And so I go over in this section. And so I'm like, oh my God. He's like, pick out something. Right. And that's what he said. Pick out something. So that right there was like, I ain't gonna lie. I was a little.
Got a little excited.
I did get a little excited with that.
You was like, after the bullshit shopping and the steak I didn't want, we finally somewhere I want to be.
It was a little, yeah. I was a little, you know, until he said, "Oh no, stay up in this area right here." This was the $150 range. What I wanted was $450.
Come closer to the mic. No, keep it back.
So I went on ahead and I picked out something, and I was like, wow, you know, I thought it was pretty pricey for a first date anyway, but it was like, okay. And so then next thing you know, he bought this necklace and was putting it around my neck. I was like, great, this is awesome. Like, wow, thank you so much. So at the end of the day, I'm like, this is an awesome date. I really enjoyed this. You know, thank you. And then we're in my car, and so he's like, well, where are we going now? And so I was like, well, I assumed the date was over. Like we driving, you know, because he didn't know where I lived, right? So this was still one of them very, very first thing where I met him at a location where I parked my car and then got in his car. So now he had to drive me back to my car. Mm-hmm. So I'm getting out of my car, and he's like, well, what are we? And I'm like, I'll see you again later. Like, you know, don't get me wrong. I had planned on sleeping with him, but it wasn't gonna be that night. You know, it wasn't like, you know.
He had done enough for
you know, I just felt like it wasn't like a I wasn't putting out on a first date. Like it felt a little weird. Like, did you just buy me? And he's just like, well, so are we? And yeah, and I wasn't going. Yeah, I was like, yeah, we can do a little feel, a little kiss and stuff like that. But yeah, after that, yeah. And I even felt like I wouldn't have kissed on the first date. I felt like I owed that to him because he had did all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I'll never put myself in that predicament again.
Interesting. Let me ask you this as a follow-up question. Have you ever had sex on the first date?
Unfortunately not.
Okay, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate.
Well, I say unfortunate because I've tried to recreate those scenes with people that I've already known, but I have never had the courage to actually go out and just do that. That's
fair. Joining us, she's in the party. Better late than never, my girl Renita. What's up, Renita? The camera's right there. Don't worry about it. All right, so we showed a quick video, and the question at hand right now is the video. Basically, my man, as Chicken eloquently put it. Oh, here we get comfortable. Shit. I hope you got a drink.
I don't.
We'll get you one.
We'll
get you one. Love bombed it, right? Like he took on the Riverwalk, he bought ice cream, they went and had drinks, they danced, and then he had gotten a hotel room without her knowledge, and she was like, "First date, you think you blah 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 blah? You think this was gonna go down?" Da, da, da. So my question is, have you ever encountered on the first date somebody assuming they were going to do the do? Lots of times.
Yeah, I mean.
So hold on. If you say lots of times, is that industry standard?
I mean, I'm just saying, like, just in the
there is context of the sentence. Have you ever been in a situation where you was on a date with somebody and they had expectations?
First date.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
First meet, sometimes guys be like, I mean, that just happens. So, yeah, of course I've been in that predicament.
Okay. Tahani?
More times than I should have been have I been caught up in that predicament. It is not cool. Not cool at all.
Let me ask you a follow-up question, and then elaborate any way you want. Does it happen more times than it does not happen?
With brothers, yes. There's this, and I can't entirely blame the brothers because a lot of sisters they're desperate now. It's like 10,000 of us fighting for 10 brothers. So a lot of sisters will like bust down, bust wide right away because they want to be ahead of the competition, not realizing that it's 20 other sisters just like her doing the same thing. So I can't blame a brother for trying because he done probably talked to 5, 6, 7, 8 sisters look just like me that were going for, 2 pieces of a biscuit.
If it didn't work, he'd never do it.
If it, just like a kid or something,
Right,
they gonna do what they can do because they know it'll work.
No, we just talk about that. Anyway, that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah.
All right, so sorry, that was not the first question I had in mind because of the video. That's why I popped up. So let me ask you all this.
Right, so it was a video and the dude.
Yeah, but sorry,
So,
okay. Irrelevant. Let's go to this. What are because this will lead right to this question. What are the key elements of first date etiquette that people should be aware of? So you go on a first date, there's etiquette to these things. I think Chicken brought up one. This might not be how you get down, but she said, you're not getting to pick me up in my career, right? We're gonna meet somewhere and then and that's not everybody's thing. Some people don't have a problem with that, some people do. So my question to you all in general is, what are first date etiquette rules that people might not always adhere to or aren't aware of? Nita, I'm gonna start with you on that.
I just think people have to show up more genuine from the beginning. So on a first date, if we just allow things to be organic, like however we met, whatever the circumstances may have been, but this is our actual first date. Oh my gosh, I know you
Cheers.
kidding me. Sorry.
Come on, daughter, get it.
I mean, I am gonna drink this.
I know this. I don't even know why we're playing this game right now.
But, you know how I am. I like people to show up very genuine. And I think I have amazing first dates. I have amazing romances, amazing, stories. Even when the relationships don't last, even if that person is really not the person that I would envision myself with, or if the feelings were really, really mutual, but just some of the interactions, just when you talk about like quality of dates, but so etiquette to me on dates is to just show up as your genuine self and enjoy the time that you're spending with the person and be present. That's the best thing. Now, all that razzle dazzle about how much money you spend and all that other type of stuff, that's trash. That's trash because you can have the best of times with somebody who you've had all of that with, who has or does not have that. But if you just show up present in that moment to say, let me get to know this person and give them a chance and I'm going to be my genuine self, that's how you have a good day.
Not mad at that.
I agree with that. So, number one, and somebody put it up there, and I weigh these two things the same. Coming to the crib, under no circumstances should either party be coming to each other's house on the first date. And that is, everyone's like, oh, you're just so, that is one of the main, first moves that, dang near, not every single, but almost all, most brothers try. Come to my house. Oh, you Creole? Oh, come cook for me. I seen something you posted on your story. You made that. I ain't get fat because I can't cook and eat. I will cook for you eventually, but not right away. And on the flip side, you shouldn't be comfortable with women in your home right away. You don't know what that chick is on. Chicks out here robbing, doing whatever, just like guys are. Assault goes both ways even. So no house dates. Pay for the male or, the masculine party. Let's be, appropriate and PC. But pay for the entire date, including the tip on the first date. I'm not putting a penny, a card. I'm not going into the granny purse.
Wait.
pay for it all.
Wait, we had
On
to
the first
specify the
date.
tip?
Yes, because guys like, well, I paid for the day. You know, you throw $10. If you're a
No, they
gentleman,
don't.
It's happened. And I know so many sisters like, dang, I mean, I don't even mind paying the tip, but like, not this attorney asked me to, or this PR guy, you know, a guy with a good job, a brother with a good job, like, why you ain't, you know, you must be a bum or you must be thirsty because you didn't put some money down right away.
On the first date?
On the first date. So first dates are completely covered by the guy. Period, point blank, hard stop right there. You pay for it all. Because that's what a gentleman should do. And no one is saying go all out for the first date. You ain't got to spend $200 on a steak. But if all we did was have $5 martinis at, you know, the local South Food bar, pay for the martinis and that girl's tip.
Especially if you don't eat steak.
That part. And pay attention to what the lady eats and don't eat, right? Don't plan a date that ain't appropriate either.
Fair. Shot?
So, I like Dutch on the first date.
Really?
Whoa!
Okay. Let's talk about it. Tell me more.
Break him off.
Y'all are going to be diametrically opposed on this, by the way.
I just think that, in my opinion, I think that men pay for sex from the beginning to the end. Meaning, whether it's prostitution or marriage, they are taking care of a woman for the sake of them getting sexual gratification and whatever their
let's get into it.
This is just my opinion. You know, I'm not a man. And so I think that when it comes to this whole financial thing of dating and that kind of thing, I think that when a man is out dating, especially when he's dating multiple women at once because he's trying to figure out what he wants, I think it's very a strain on him to say, well, when you date me, you have to pay for all my food and all my dates. And then tomorrow he got another date and he got to pay for all her stuff. And then on Friday he got another date because we're not exclusive, you know. And so now he's spent, you know, $500 on 4 dates. And I think it could get a little pricey, especially when in the end of those 4 dates, he might have got laid once. He might have. But then again, he might not have. Maybe they were all first dates and everybody didn't want to put out a first date. So I think it's challenging for that. So from my perspective, when I go out with a guy, for that first date, I either like it to be a very inexpensive date, like maybe coffee or ice cream, and then he can pay for everything. Or if it's a dinner date or even a movie date, I'll pay for my ticket or I'll pay for the popcorn and then he pay for the tickets. Or I'll pay for my meal and he pay for his meal.
Look at the face.
I'm sorry.
No, say your face.
I'm just saying that's just how I view it because I don't want expectations because that date with that necklace and that outfit and that steak, that scarred me. And I got a chance to kind of see, and it's not that every man is like that. I'm not saying every man is like that. It's just that I opened my eyes to see that, hey, y'all work just like we work. And, you know, I'm not saying, you know, I make more than the average man, but
it sounds like that's what you're saying. It sounds like that's what you're about to say.
I'm just saying I make money and he makes money. I don't know. In the first date, we don't know how much each other make. And so I'm not going to presume that he makes more than I am or presume that I make more than him. But I am going to presume that we are both working adults and we both got budgets. You know what I'm saying? We both got budgets. You know, I got to pay for my household. You got to pay for your household. And so to force you or to feel like you're obligated to pay, you know, this whole $60 for this, you know, burger and fries and drinks with an S, because drinks is like $15 each. And so now you got $30 worth of drinks, and then he wanted 2. So now we $60 in drinks, and I ain't even had a burger yet. It just feels a little pricey, and it feels a little unfair.
Well, whoever got that, turn that down. So I gotta pass this back. But let me say this. Because all of you all said some gems right here. But specifically for you two, I feel I'm going to ask this question and I'm going to throw it back to Tahani. Tahani, I feel you. Like, as a man, I feel like it is... look at Ron. Ron will be in your damn DMs in a minute. And Ron said right here. I feel like it's, you know, it is gentlemanly, the man's role. I asked you out, I should pay for at least the first date. Check it, I feel you, though. I feel about, like... I don't know what your budget is. I don't know what your finances are. I don't even really know you yet. I think where I feel you the most, and you didn't even verbalize this, was that it removes some expectations.
Yes.
If we both put in our $30, $40, whatever it is on the date, it removes the expectation of, well, I paid for this date, then I deserve this. No. We both paid for this date because this is a get to know you thing. You don't deserve anything because I put my half in. And maybe that will eliminate some of the sexual expectations that men have because they paid for whatever date it is. But Tahani, I want you to speak to that.
It doesn't. Like,
You said it don't matter even they don't pay for, you don't even pay for the date. Okay.
Not only have personally, but I've heard sister friends speak on the fact that like he didn't even pay and still tried to like pinch cheeks. And so that's why I am firm, 10 down, palm strong on doing what you have to do in the door. Because there are brothers out here, and everyone's like, oh, it's the brothers you choose, or it's the bummy brothers. No, there are affluent or bougie brothers that are like, I showed up, and
Right.
I'm bringing dick and disappointment, and you should be happy to catch it.
And bubblegum.
And okay, I'm blowing a bubble in my bubblegum, and I want you to pop it and then kiss me afterwards.
Yes.
That's what they expect. That's
Yes.
what's going on now with grown men,
Uh-huh.
40 up,
Grown.
men.
So this conversation,
Right.
this is about our old age. We ain't talking about when we was 20.
Right.
We're talking about right now.
This is right now, and so that's why I'm like, as a man, you plan what you can do. Like, y'all know what I do for a living. I eat fancy food all the time, Rockin' Baby. So I don't need a steak. I don't need to go to the whatever you're capable of doing. Do that and be a gentleman about doing that. I don't expect the most, but I do expect planning and paying right away. Because even when they don't pay, they still try to pinch.
Renita, where you at on this?
I don't know. So, have you ever taken someone on the first date? Like, I like to present
That's a good
because
question.
I can present to you what I have expectations of the date being. If it's about, just as a woman showing you what I expect on the date. But and the reason I do that so well is because I've been taking on fabulous dates. Come on, Pops, And I mean, even still now, I'm in my engagement era, like,
Come on now.
go on
Right.
Let's go
vacation 12
Let's go
in
now.
2.5 years for his birthday next week when we go to Puerto Rico. So, I'm not like stuck in the point of what is dating about and what is the quality of the date based on what someone presents that they can do equally or beyond or whatever. Like, I'm gonna do what my pockets can do, and we still gonna have a great time. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm gonna try and demonstrate to you. Like, well, I like to shoot. Me, I like to shoot pool. I'm like, we can go and get something to eat, shoot pool, have a good time, and have some drinks. And to me, that's a good day.
Mhm.
I like to do things on a first date that are activities that take a lot of that awkwardness out of it, because by the time you get to the first date, no matter how you matter, you know what I'm saying? Even if it was a fucking matrix combination of everything that we already said, like you randomly met and fucked and then went on the date. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. You see, then, so what we finna do? Let's go talk. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so, and then I've been taking on many nice dates. So when I really like a guy and it's my man, I'm gonna treat him good and take him out and we're gonna have a good time. So, I just feel like dating moves so far beyond that. And it's not about women being thirsty or niggas just want to fuck. Especially at didn't it say in the text, at our big asses?
Our big ass age.
Our big ass ages, right. At our big ass ages. This premise that there's going to be financial investment today is ridiculous, really. It really is, because who got to do that to go have somebody to hang out and eat with? That's not fucking, knock it off. Knock it the fuck off.
All right, hold on. I'm glad we've landed here because we gotta. I wanted to start here, but then I decided not to. But now I'm gonna circle back. So anybody watching that was waiting on this, here we go. Tahani,
Yes,
you pretty much went viral recently.
that was so crazy.
It was crazy.
As ever.
Here's what's funny about that. The conversation came up, and I saw it in a couple of different groups. and I never clicked on the picture to see it was you. And I was like,
You're not the only person. That's
I was like, who the fuck? Who's talking this crazy? But I feel a little bit. So you just recently, for everybody that doesn't know, Tahani said that she is so tired of, and correct me if I'm wrong, these first dates where guys don't show up, they don't show up as they are themselves, or they just don't show up like physically, period, right? Like they get you all set up, you go out, you get ready to go out, you go to the bar, and they don't show up. So she has set up a parameter where if you have to, in order for a first date, give her $50. She will return the $50 if you actually show up. I want you to elaborate on this whole setup.
Yes, so let's preface this with I didn't create the viral post. And y'all know I post, I chat, I talk a lot of smack. This was actually created by a guy that matched with me as friends on Facebook dating, and he has very extreme religious views. And I wrote him a respectful letter and said, I'm sorry, I love my church on the South Side. I don't think we mesh well. He replied to me, called me everything but a child of God. And
this is a religious dude.
Yes,
Yeah.
And he's religious, right?
Yeah,
he's a religious fanatic. They be the worst ones. And then he called himself embarrassing me by posting the original post. Like, oh, and can you believe this woman that sells herself for funds, had the nerve to reject me? So, and that's how it started. That's how it started.
I got you.
And haha on him, most people like you, even brothers were like, but she says she'll give it back, so what's the point? My sister, and it, mind you, everyone's, I'd say late 30s to like 60. Like, I listen to my sister or my mama, is older, trying to date in her 60s, and it ain't working out because brothers, blah, blah, blah. So I feel where this Marie is coming from. Like, it makes sense kind of, because at least if nothing else, she gets her gas money back and can buy herself a drink, right? So I saw that by a lot of brothers, which shocked me. And then everyone shared that post. Of course, there were people that disagreed, but I wanted to put that out there. Like, yeah, the original post about it, yeah, he copy and pasted my profile. And my name is Tahani. So a lot of people like you were like, well, who's Marie? Or Ramagos is not a common last name. That's my mom's original last name. So then that just had the family friends like, whoa, wait a minute, I know that's so-and-so daughter. And it was just a mess. But in that, I wanted to say that everyone assumes I've had these terrible experiences with brothers and that I just choose wrong all the time.
Whoa.
It's the contrary.
Whoa.
Not that.
We assume?
Assume.
I believe there's been a lot of conversation you started about
I always post a disclaimer like I've actually had, I've said this as many times as I can count, I've had some very good experiences with brothers. So good that I'm not willing to settle. I'm one of the only sisters that as soon as I get a whiff of something stupid, I'm like, no, because I can get stupid anywhere. So no, goodbye. And then that bothers brothers because they're not used to sisters not giving in right away. And when I say I'm firm on that, it's like, you didn't answer your phone, so no, you can't call me 3 or 4 days later and expect us to go out for martinis. That's not going to happen. You had your opportunity to take me for the Wednesday special, and you chose not to.
Bingo.
That was your choice, and stand on that.
Ask you nothing. Your turn was coming.
And that's where my disclaimer came from because I'm not competing with sisters that will allow you to send them off. I'm the type of sister that stands on business because
talk to me about the 50. Talk to me about the 50. Talk to me about the 50.
And that came from another group member. She is recently divorced. I forget her first name, but it's Moreno, right? Something Moreno. And she joked and said, because she lives in New York, she's busy. She goes through all this effort to get to the date. And then it was a send-off. The brother didn't do right. And she, again, is grown like us. And she was like, I need to start charging a retainer or something, $50, at least to cover my efforts and energy to get to the spot. And I said, you know what? I actually am because I'm over this. I don't like to text indefinitely. Outside of my work, I try to volunteer constantly for my friends that still do believe in Black love. I'm babysitting their children on the side. So if you take me away from something productive and you don't stand on yours, you got to pay at least half of my rate. My time is not free. And my time can be dedicated to doing something positive. And if you don't respect my time, I'm going to make you respect my time. Because I deserve that. All women and men deserve that.
I mean, all right, guys. Hold on. I know that maybe shockingly less of you than I think, might disagree with this. But when she puts it that way, if you in this dating world and you are consistently getting stood up or a lot of chatter and then not showing up where you should when you said you would, your time is valuable. I charge a lot of money for my time per hour. Dating might not be different in this way. Chicken, I'm curious about your thoughts on this. I was like, we shot at
I know, right? It takes a lot to date. It takes a lot to date me. I'm typically in the DM. I got my Google texting, and I have my real texting. So
she got a lot of barriers, is what I'm hearing. There's a lot of barriers.
There's a lot of barriers
to access.
So you may start in the Facebook. You may start on, talking to me on Facebook, and then you get into my DM. If you get past my DM, you might get my Google number, and then if you get past my Google number, you'll get my real number. But not really men get past my Google number. Unfortunately, like I'm like, I'm doing the whole tester. Like if I send you a text and it take you a few hours to respond, and when you respond, you're not responding to the last thing that I sent you, I'm kind of feeling a little ignored. Like I'm not going to be treated like I'm ugly. I don't think I'm ugly. I don't have low self-esteem. So I do have some expectations. So I've never been stood up on a date because it takes a lot to get to that point. So by the time it gets to the point of a date, like they not saying they've been waiting a long time, but just that, it's taken a lot to get to that point. So, so I can't say that I would have to charge them because so many people just drop off before we even get to the point of actually going out.
What do you think about that as a concept though? Like, right, like, so you have barriers, I'm sure Tahani does too, but let's say they got past the barriers and you've had enough experiences to say, I've shown up at the restaurant, I've shown up at the bar, I've shown up wherever, and the brother I met on Hinge or wherever the hell didn't show up.
So I would be, I don't know. I've seen so many movies. I would just be afraid that he did show up and he saw me and decided that he left. That's what I would be thinking. Like it would have never crossed my mind. Right. But it would have never crossed my mind that, that he purposely stood me up, that we worked on it. Hey, what time are you going to be there? Okay, I'm going to be there at 3. Okay, cool. I'll be there at 3 too. Okay, cool. I'm 10 minutes away. Me too. I'm 45 minutes away. Okay, well, I'll wait for you here. Okay, cool. And then nothing. Like, I don't even know how to, like, that is like baffling to me because I'll be like, wait, what? So yeah, I think, enough of those. I think I probably would be like, I'm run that $50 and then I give it back to you. Yeah, I could see that.
I assume, I've never done the dating apps. Need I pass it to you in a second. I've never done a dating app, so I don't know exactly how this works, but I assume brothers, non-brothers, everybody has, they're texting and DMing and doing a lot with a lot of people. And I think there's probably a lot of catfishing going on too. Like, right, like I got this, all right, boom. I'm scared to show up because I don't even think I misrepresented myself in the first place. Right. So you carry it all the way through to that very moment where you're supposed to go, and then you ghost because you was on some bullshit in the beginning. As opposed to what you're saying, like I showed up and I didn't like how you look like. I never showed up because you won't like how I look like. So, because I misrepresented myself in the beginning. So I'm curious though, Nita. $50 retainer. You get it back though.
I mean, I guess the math makes sense, right? If you feel like I spent $50, the least you could do is recop me $50. But I guess for me, just in my own experience, the people who I go on first dates with, I know I can easily get $50 from, like, without saying, send me, like, I'll call, like, nigga, where are you?
Well, hold on, but you probably have met most of these people face to face. These aren't like
right. I don't date
internet. That's different. That's a different.
Yeah. I was never a big online dater. That wasn't my. I skipped from one social media to the next. Like I was on Black Planet. I wasn't on MySpace. Got on Facebook.
Well, you went to Black Planet.
Oh
my God! I love that you did it though.
I'm just
I was telling
saying.
Sean earlier,
But I
our
mean, I have
demographic
to-
is a certain age, and Black Planet is our demographic, Sean. Go ahead.
You know, but in those instances, I could think about times like if I had really pressed to go and meet a guy that I had met on Black Planet or something like that, I might be pressed for that little 50, like, bruh. Just a lot of shit to play with. I mean, give my $50. If I blow your page up, you know, do what you do to people that do that to you, right?
Yeah.
What happens then? Somebody, you meet somebody on social media or through a dating app or whatever. You guys go on a date. They don't show up. They don't send the $50. You know what I'm saying? They got you outside like the witch on Woody Woodpecker. Lady, just pay 50 cents. You know what I'm saying?
You're doing a lot of old school throwback calls right now.
I'm
catching them all.
I don't understand. I just be like, I can chuck up the deuces. You know what I'm saying? I got other shit to do anyway. Like $50, that's nothing. Like for the peace of mind, and then to be trying to tally up, I think that does more to your self-esteem to be like, and again, and he didn't pay, and it, YOLOs. Next, you know what I'm saying? I have too much other shit to do, too many other people today, real life, you know what I'm saying? I don't have time to be trying to, like, be the focal point. Like, we've been having a whole dating conversation about what happens on the first date and if you should pay a deposit. That's not dating. Like,
what's that? What do you consider
What is
that?
the thing?
I mean, that you could say that that's a starting point, but how many times for real on the first date do you, like,
Dating is transactional.
get
though.
stood up, or like on a first date you get stood up a lot, or somebody wants to split the bill with you? I definitely don't experience. From the brokest to have I met him, whatever type of man he is, or whatever. The broke ones, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Who, like, this nigga ain't got his shit all together. You know, I done dated all types of different type of guys, but on a first date, I feel like for the most of the time, they come.
Wait.
And we have a good time. And we do whatever it is that is on the agenda to do. Eat, kick it, roll around, smoke, go over a friend's house. Whatever we decide to do while we out having a good time. Like,
Brian, you turn Ron on. Ron is like, I don't care how old you are, auntie, let's get it. Come on, Sugar.
I do think one of my biggest first dates is a group date. Like I typically like to meet them out with a group. Like, hey,
that's
are
fine.
you and your guys doing anything?
Yes,
Me and my girls will meet out,
Mhm.
or you know, like it's a group thing, and so then I get a chance
Or
to
even if he
see.
takes you somewhere with his friends, or you let him
Yes.
come somewhere with your friends. Like,
I
there's
like
way
that.
too many ways to make a first date easy that, like you say, nobody feels like they're being taken advantage of.
Right.
You didn't overinvest. I didn't overinvest. If it don't work out, if you late, if you don't make it, I'm still somewhere kicking it.
Yes.
Whatever.
Yes.
You know, you ready to go. I can Uber home. Like, these my people, or you want to stay with your
Mhm.
people. I'm not comfortable. Well, whatever. It's way more stuff that you
I
can do.
First date, I don't know about that.
Well, see,
Well,
the reason why I
love
like
having
it
first dates where a guy take me somewhere with his friends and we kick it.
because you get a chance to be able to see him in his
In
element.
his element, I
You
see
get a
that.
chance to see how people respond to him, how people treat him. Like if everybody treating him like he's
See if
goofy
he
of the
front his
group,
move.
you
Come
know,
on.
now you know,
Now
or-
you know
or-
he the goofy.
right, you know,
Right.
or
You
if
see if he
he's
front his move, like, listen, bro, I don't know.
Wait, front his move. What's that?
Right. Just like, see if he a goofy. Like, he
Okay.
talking all this big shit when y'all get ready. Like, yeah, we finna go. You know, I ain't gonna make no more old school.
Come on,
I'm finna go all the way back
Come on,
there.
keep it back. Keep
You
going.
know,
I love an
don't-
old school reference.
Don't let him walk you in there like Sparkle, baby. Introduce you to Saturday. You know,
There was a sparkle in the 2000s, so maybe some of y'all saw both. All right.
not the real shit. But I'm just saying, so yeah, you have to be leery of that kind of thing to make sure that this person, that's how you see if they are who they are. Like, even if they pay $50 and show up for the date with the motherfucking pretty woman box, this motherfucker could still be a lunatic, a killer,
Oh,
a
yeah.
fraud, a bugaboo, little dick. All, like, there's no reason.
He can't
Knock
help
it
the
off.
size of it. That doesn't make him a bad guy. Anyway.
Knock it off. Like,
I'm about to bounce
just make him not for me.
Like,
I'm
I'm
definitely
trying to
not
help
for
y'all out here,
me.
brother.
Definitely not for me. That's why I like to
Stay in your life.
Okay, hold on.
Personally,
Hold on. I gotta let me stop that right there before
What?
it goes somewhere we don't want it to go. Or maybe some of y'all do.
that was one of the original topics. Like, has a guy? What about when a guy approached you for sex on the first date and you wanted to fuck him, and then you ended up dating this guy? Y'all had a great relationship.
I'm sorry. Let me ask this. Let me
I'm a
ask.
love child, and it looks like they put y'all on the pot.
I'm shifting. I'm shifting. So, Kahani, let me ask you this. So, what are? Hold on. Let me make sure I got this question correct. Hold on before I do it. I'm sorry. Hold on. Is it appropriate to discuss personal or sensitive topics on a first date? And if so, which ones?
Absolutely not. And it's funny, I just had this conversation with a girlfriend of mine. She doesn't even give out her real name or occupation for the first couple days. And I don't either. Because when you do, then it's
wait, but you charge? How are you getting paid? It sounds
hey, hold on. Your PayPal could be in.
My Facebook name is my granny's middle name and my mother's original Spanish maiden name.
Your Venmo could be in.
Right.
Again, I don't be doing
exactly.
Cash and carry. If I'm just saying this.
I did a little remix of the name.
Thank you. If it's $50, then and not getting picked up, I don't know. I do want to get picked up on my first date, but I'm also not.
I'm bring that back to that's old school though, right? You want to get picked up. You want him to come out. Is he gonna come outside and open my door and blah blah? But there's a lot of crazy dudes out there that you don't want to have. I know you'll shoot a motherfucker. I get it. That you don't want coming to your door. I get that. But continue.
So I don't share any personal information because homosexuals are real. And as soon as you just give a whiff of, I could possibly bring my spend the night bag and or use you for money, tickets, perks, whatever, a nigga will try that. And so I don't, my name is whatever. It's Shakita today. It might be Tamara tomorrow. It's Marie next week, right? None of that in the door because I need to just organically get to know you and speak with you and figure out what you're on. Because right now, with all this 50-50 talk and what are you bringing to the table? There are a lot of brothers out here that are straight up and down predators, but they're running under the guise of, I just got to make sure a sister not going to use me. Use you for what when we out earn most of our peers? Use you for what when we are buying the most homes? Use you for what when we are raising all the kids by ourselves, right?
This is not a question I asked, by the way.
So that's
I said what's inappropriate conversation?
You can't talk about any of that because they're coming in and doing whatever they want. Just because they can, because a lot of desperate sisters are volunteering too much information, opening their doors, their legs, their everything that can be unzipped, their bags, all of that in the door. And so it's not cool. And we have to stop that, sisters. It will never get better if everybody's just busting it wide. Here you go. I'm going to pay. I'm going to hug. That's not working for us. We're in last place for that reason.
I feel you. But I'll circle back to you. I know you were diametrically opposed to this.
I'm trying to.
All right, fuck it. I'm passing right to you, chick. I guess.
I don't know. I'm trying to understand,
So the question was, and then I think
what are the things that you can't talk about? Don't share personal information because people are out here crazy.
Oh, but I didn't say all that. But just what's appropriate to discuss and not discuss on the first date? Disclose. Whatever.
We're adults, so we're dating under a social media alias. We're taking electronic deposits for the date. But we do want to go on a date and see if there's potential to this guy. You've been talking nice on the internet, so we're going on this date. But then we get to the date and we don't share any truth. I'm lost.
It's not that we don't share any truth. We don't share any intimate details. So you don't need to know
you
exactly what I do
about
for a living
your life without them knowing where you live or how to come to your job.
What saying.
Or
that's what I'm saying.
I think that's what she said.
That's what I said. But can you know, all you know is I take care of kids, fancy kids. I travel, taking care of these kids. Do you need to know who? No. And guys will press you for intimate details because, again, they want to see what they can glean from the situation all the time. That's happened to so many sisters I know that are in nice positions where it's like, dang, I just want to know, do you like, Uncle Remus or Harold's? Or, when's the last time you did something different like hiking or camping? I'm trying to get more into outdoor activities, right? And this brother's like, so what exactly do you do for Northern Trust? Oh, you live in Flossmoor. Where in Flossmoor? By the station? Or are you closer to Kedzie? Like, and it don't take all that right away in the door. But that's what we are as a culture. Like, people like that they sharing too much and doing too much early.
Well, I think this is interesting, and the chicken don't pass the
And
cheese.
it's so
I think a lot of people, it can be. I think a lot of people, so Chicago is very unique in this way, to my knowledge at least, that people will say, oh, you're from Chicago. What high school you go to? Mm-hmm. And it's very much about making lines of delineation, right? Like, oh, if you went to such and such, you probably on this. If you went to such and such, you're probably on that. So I think a lot of these questions that happen on the first date are lead to your point, Tahani, are leading to that, right? Like if you live in Flossmoor, do you live on this end or that end? That tells me, presumably, how much money you got.
Are you rich like me?
Not yet. Hold on. I live on train tracks, Uncle. So I think that's where I think people are trying to fish. I don't know if that's necessarily for predatory reasons. It could be. It also might be to see what they could get on the predatory side. And also, do we align in this financial lane, which may or may not be important to everybody. But check it. Let me sling it to you. Questions on the first date. To go back to your original question. What are conversations that are appropriate, inappropriate? What things should be discussed, not discussed? What makes you comfortable on a first date or uncomfortable to have conversation about?
So I do think that I don't like the whole knowing my first name. I don't like that.
Nobody knows your real name.
Exactly. So
I know you 30 years. I don't know you're in the circuit.
It's chicken, and you can call me Chad if you like.
It is not.
So, and I because I like to keep it casual until it's not. And I'm okay with a guy calling me a variation of chicken, bird or chick or, whatever.
Variation.
You call me a variation of chicken. Like, I'm cool with that, C, Miss Hawk, whatever, rotisserie. I'm okay with any variation of that, just to keep it light and casual until it's not, I typically, by the time the first date happens, though, we done had so many conversations on the phone that he kind of knows a lot of information, and so like,
first dates is
I'm not now.
A lot of people don't have these phone conversations. That's not where the world is.
Even if you have this online,
well, that's what I'm saying.
like,
I think
the man don't at least got the cliff notes and the text messages or something.
No,
to keep him on track for the. I don't get it.
Because you ain't doing it. That's why you don't get it. You go.
So,
but I wouldn't be mad though. I'd just be like, okay, bullet dodged.
But that's you're dating different, is what I'm saying. You're dating different, correct?
Like, thank you, son.
I think texting is important for me because I need to know that they understand the difference between you, your, and your. But that's just my opinion.
Okay.
Texting is important.
Big on language as well.
And there's, I get texting language is different from writing a book, but I at least want to know that you at least know the difference. And so I kind of like texting because it gives me an idea as to
that I'm trying to act a certain way. I hate that. Like for me, because of my personality, like when I start to say things that are top level on intellect and history and literature and things like that, and people always be like, gee, you're smart. Like, yeah, I'm
not a complete ghetto bird.
Not complete, but enough. And I own her too. Come on now. But it's a lot of things you can play with, but not me. And I don't know. I feel like I don't know why we never got past the first date. I thought we were going to talk about all types of stuff with dating.
Oh, well, the first date is the actual topic.
Oh, okay.
Which tells me you either drunk or didn't read the text.
I skipped the word. Okay.
First dating is the actual topic of this.
But what about a great first date? Like, has nobody had like a marvelous? Like, I've had like fucking. My first date with my daughter's father, with our real Amy's dad. I met him through a friend. I'm not going to say where I met the friend because it's going to make it seem too crazy. But I met him through a friend, older guy. You know. You
I
just
already know,
don't
but I
the
want
gym.
you to tell her.
I'm not gonna say that part.
We're at the
So-
strip club.
Oh no, oh not never that, baby. But so I met him through an older friend that I had met his friend. I knew his friend for a couple of months, and so then I wanted to go to the Ari B and Rakim concert back when we used to go to have concerts at the amphitheater. And so he was like,
But this is tell the age all through this podcast. I love this
baby,
shit.
I'm
Come
kicking
on.
double nipples up the ass, baby.
Come
Knock
on.
it off.
I'm big age. Let's go. All right, our Eric B. and Rakim.
So we
Rakim
going.
was awful on
So
stage, by the way.
my guy tells me that the friend, he's like, me and my guy gonna come and get you and take you to go to the concert. I want to introduce my, because he was trying to push up on me himself, but he knew he was way too much old man for me. I was only 19 years old. You know what I'm saying? And
So he hooked you up with his boy.
he hooked me up with his boy, who really he worked for. This is our real immediate, right? So I get dressed to get ready to go. He's like, okay, we finna come pick you up. They come pick me up. You know, when I say the car, people are gonna look at this like some people are gonna know. So yeah, that famous metallic green Volvo with the gold BBSs.
If you watch what's that shit on Stars, the drug dealers, being life or whatever that
yeah,
shit is.
you know what
BMF,
I'm saying?
they drive that motherfucker on there.
Baby. So I'm like, wow, I come outside. They're chauffeuring me. The two of them are sitting in the front. His guy gets out, opens his door. They come pick me up at my house.
Different day.
You know, pick me up, but still like this.
I got you.
From my mom and my grandmother's house, came pick me up. And I got in the back. They had roses and champagne. It was rolling weed. Turned the music on, like, dude, like, what's up, baby? Hey, how you doing? Let's go. We out. So we go to.
Wait, hold on, pause. This is the best first date you ever had?
This is the best one.
No, I had way better ones than this, but
Hold
I'm
on.
just saying this is a paramount.
Pause.
This is a
I thought you
paramount.
was going pause. Hold on. I want to hear everybody's best first
Oh,
date.
the best first date.
Think about it, Tahani.
Okay,
Best
yes.
first date. Think about it.
I don't know.
Best first date. Best first
Best,
date.
best.
This was sounding like a very good day. Go ahead, Tahani.
But no, you know what? I can finish this one.
Come on.
It's really probably.
I bet
just
you this
my-
is your best first date.
I mean, because we had two daughters.
That's
you know
right.
what I'm
Come on.
saying?
That's right.
But so he picks me up and we had to make a stop. We rode through. We stopped someplace. They were in the back of the little spot. Got smoked. He like, baby, you stretch on your seat for a minute. Then we went someplace else, and he
You
was
like
like,
that ghetto shit.
he's like, come
You
on, come.
like that
Here you
ghetto
come, come inside with us. So then we went inside. He had a drink. Kicked it. He's like, okay, come on, let's go. So we get ready to get to the concert, and his beeper's blowing up the whole time.
It's beeper. I'm just telling you what year we in right now. Go ahead.
So we get there, he drops me off, and he's like, I'm gonna have to come back and pick you up. I'm like, what? Y'all not staying at the concert with me?
They got drug dealers making. They can't be fucking around with you.
I did not say that. So
You said beeper.
he gave me, he gives me some money, gives me numbers. This guy like, come on, Rita, we'll be back. Just go ahead and concert with your friends, enjoy yourself, have a good time. So that's exactly what I do. You know me, I walk in the concert, go find some people I know. I got front row seats. We down here, we kicking it, yada yada yada. So
I just want to qualify real quick. She said the best first date she had. One of the best first dates she ever had.
and I got dropped
She got
off
fucking left. All right,
because the date ain't over. So
I'm
stay
saying.
with me.
I'm just saying.
Got
Keep
dropped
going.
off to kick it at the concert. So then some of my guys from high school at the end of the concert, we all walking around waiting. People walking, they were like, "Anita, you straight?" Because I had told them the same thing. I'm like, I'm on a date, dude. They're like, come on, nigga. So we kicking it.
I'm on a date with no one.
with my boys. Like if I had seen you.
Yeah, on a date with his beeper number. I got you. Come on.
So
what happens after the concert?
he comes back, of course.
Of course he does.
Comes back. And I'm like, this ain't no fun. Y'all was supposed to more reefer, champagne and shit. I'm like, but this ain't no fun. We supposed to be kicking it. Y'all not gonna be riding me around and shit. I want to go to the after party. He was like, okay. Ooh, you feisty. Yes, let's go. Goddamn it. So
Here we go.
to the after party
Here we
we
go.
go. Cause now I done seen all my girls and shit up in there, and I'm telling them like, dude, who came to get like some of my girls on my block was leaving to go to the concert when he came to the house to pick me up. So when I seen them, they was like, bitch.
In the green Volvo.
They was like, bitch.
All right, come on, shorty, come on.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Speed it up,
I had
speed it up,
a
speed it
great
up,
He
speed it
stayed out all night. I took my pictures with Airbnb and Rakim. They sat in the damn bar being quiet to themselves like some old dudes. Chilling. All I was running back over there all night, just going over there, getting money, getting drinks, kicking it with my girls, taking pictures, having a good time. We went and got a room at the fucking Congress on Michigan.
Not the
Went and
Congress.
sat and kicked it up there, smoked weed and shit, went to breakfast, came home about 6 o'clock in the morning. Everybody still rolling in because everybody been out all night. They like, and really, first my boys from high school was like, nigga, ain't no motherfucking green Volvo with no gold BBSs out here. Least of all, pull it up. Nigga, shut your ass up. You always fuck with people. I'm like, nigga. He pulls up, they like, this motherfucker. I had a fucking blast. Hell yeah, that was a great first date.
So this sound okay. I ain't mad at that. That's a hell of a story.
Mhm.
Tahani,
I got a million of them.
we're not gonna tell them all.
But I'm saying that's why I'm like, all of this is such a foreign concept to me. Like, what?
That's a different
People
day,
be
though.
not shit now.
That's what I'm saying. Right now, it's a different day. Tahani, best first date. I'm very curious about the story. Best first date.
Go back to
Best
the original
first date. And I want to preface this with two quick ones, and they're both brothers. My one
Brothers! Did you hear that? They both brothers.
That's
Don't y'all ever.
met a brother on Match, and we're still cool to this day. Like when I went to New York with my job and stuff a lot last year, I saw him there. But he, I was like, oh, I want to go to see Maxwell at Ravinia, and he flew in from New York. I remember it rained bad. It was just
bad. It was a shitty
it
day.
was not a good day. But that's what I mean by why I can't lower my standards, because I come from a black man that's like very macho, nacho, provider-ish. And the black men that I've chosen to align myself with stand on business. He was like, you want to go to Maxwell? All right, let's go to Maxwell. So he literally flew in from New York, got a suite at the Swiss Hotel, I think, or somewhere cute downtown. And like, so that was our...
She calls the Swiss Hotel cute. Go ahead.
Yeah, like, and so...
I love that for you, actually. Let's go up.
Yeah, and so... I just was so shocked because I'm just, chatting up and we're talking. I'm like, well, I don't know. It says it's going to rain. Don't waste your money. Because believe it or not, guys, I am considerate of people's pockets. And so I didn't want somebody to come like way from out of state. I'm like, and it's going to be a typhoon-nado. Chicago's going to Chicago, But he did. He flew in. We made the best of that muddy, gross day. And yeah, and then like, have fun in the hotel and it was just a great weekend, but that was our first time really kicking it. And I was so shocked that he really picked up love. Was like, all right, I'm there. Like, I'm that interested in you. I don't care about a 2-3 hour flight. Like, it's nothing. Come in, let's do, you get the tickets. I'll give you your money back, blah, blah, blah. And that was our first date. Another one, this guy was really, for what it's worth, he's a Virgo. Virgos are very attention oriented and nitpicky kind of whatever.
We are meticulous individuals.
Very meticulous. And so that almost made me nervous because I know how I can be. And I was like, Virgo, this might be too much. But this brother from moment 1 to moment 10, it was paying attention to what I eat or don't eat. At the time, I didn't eat any pork or beef. And I said, I really love, it was a seafood restaurant. And it was downstairs at the McDonald's on Madison or something. They had the fountain right in front. Do you all remember that?
Oh, I do.
Yeah, it was beautiful. And I said, they have the best lobster bisque. I want to go there. So this is pre-Uber Uber and all of that. He sends a black car all the way to the south suburbs to pick me up, to take me to that restaurant. The bisque, the flowers, everything was waiting for. I was like, oh my God, this is like Carrie from Sex and the City or something. So I was so, but it was because he was very detail oriented, very you said you like this lobster bisque.
That's what I heard.
Yes. And so oddly enough, I had just gone there kind of by myself. And I was like, he's like, start, order, whatever. When I get off work, I'll be there by 6:15, 6:30. Gets there at 6 o'clock. I had gotten there at 5 something, 5:30, 5:45. So he was on time. But my food, so I'm appetizing him, yo, okay. He's a grown-up for real, and I don't know if I'm this grown, I'm just answering phones and credit. But I was like, he's a real grown-up. And he's like, let me leave my car at my daddy's house. So, I was just really excited. But on that date, it was from moment 1, he paid attention to what I liked. I was like, I really want to go back to this place, but I would love to go in the evening. I can't necessarily afford dinner there because I'm broke. So we could do that for our date. It would be nice. And he just, when I say rolled out the red carpet and was like, that's what you want to eat? That's what we'll eat. Okay, you cool with that? Do you want to walk towards Millennium Park? And it wasn't a lot for him because you know how Virgos can be naturally. We just pay attention to things and kind of do things intrinsically. But it was the fact that he just thought all that out and like actually put a plan in motion. So those 2 first dates were like, they set the bar so high. That's why I'm kind of crazy now because like this was in my 20s, you know, or 30, and then in my late 20s.
I hear you. Jay?
Unfortunately, I pretty much got the same story. I got 2 first dates that set the bar. Like my first date, one of my first dates was, I called it a date because it was the first time I met him. Like literally we met at a pool hall over on 55th Street, or whatever that 710 lanes, whatever. We met there and it was a group outing. And we started talking. Conversation, things were well. And then all of a sudden, his boy had to leave. He rode with his boy had to leave, and he lived really far. And he's like, well, I got to leave with my boy. And I wasn't ready to finish the conversation.
Let him go.
I wasn't ready to let him go. And so I was like, I'll take you home. And he was
Come
like,
on now.
That's what I'm saying.
right.
Like,
He was like, okay. He was like, you sure? He was like, I live XYZ. And I'm like, that's fine. I ain't got to work in the morning. I was
y'all
riding home.
had a fabulous time. You
And we talked, and then of course we talked there, and then we talked all the way to his house, all the way into his driveway. We sitting in his driveway talking. He's like, you want to come in? I'm like, hell no. But it was good talking to you and stuff because I don't know where this is going to lead because the conversation was great. The relationship was effed up after that, but the conversation was great.
I mean, now,
I know. I'm just saying that first date was great.
Now,
I'm just saying that
now
was
my
great.
baby daddy
Now, my
went
second
down
first
here
date-
for 34 years after
Right.
that.
So my second first date was
After the concert.
it's not traditional. Again, it's not traditional. It was somebody in which that I had been involved with on an intimate level, because we had met secretly, whatever, and then we pretty much were just like intimate. We had never actually been out, but we had dealt, behind closed doors for a long time. Not because either one of us were married, but that's just how it happened, right? We just kept it low, and then a couple years later, just we rekindled and we chatted, and then we went on our first date, and it was fabulous. I was out with my girlfriend, and he's like, "Hey, are you out? And I'd like to see you." And so I'm like, "Are you sure?" I'm out with my girlfriend. He was like, "Sure, I'll come by. I'll come there." And he came in, and I had been talked to my girlfriend about him before, but he came in like a whirlwind. He was like, "Hey, hey, we want 3 shots over here, get them 2 shots, and I want this shot here." And and we had already eaten. We were done eating by the time he got there. He was like, "Yeah, put all that on my tab," and we were gonna chit chat. He had this really nice outfit on. He was just all just looking all just sexy. He had his little watch on and stuff, and he just made a very good impression. Exactly. And my girlfriend was looking like, "Dang, this was you." I'm like, "Girl, this is what I've been waiting on, right?" And it felt the charisma,
Bring it out,
the energy.
Once around the park.
And I felt like all that energy that we had did on the inside was kind of like, oh, so he does like me. That's what it felt. It felt like, oh, okay, it was not just an intimate thing, but he actually showed it, and he came and showed out. But yeah, it was very, very nice.
I ain't mad at that. Let me ask this, because we are coming up on time soon, so I'm gonna make sure we get to a couple more questions really fast. So when you're on a first date, potentially differences of opinions come up, differences of standards, differences in general, right? Everybody's not on the same page exactly 100% every time we go out. Doesn't mean that bad person, don't mean you ain't vibing with them, doesn't mean you ain't exactly always on the same page. So how should you handle differences in expectations or interests that arise during a first date? Honey, I'm gonna start with you.
Again, being the anal Virgo, I notice little things like if he cuts his pancakes in triangles instead of squares, I automatically know that he's an uncouth heathen.
Jesus Christ.
And we won't see each other past this moment. Now, do I snatch his fork and knife? No. What I mean by that is I'm not going to cause a scene in the moment or even bring it up. But if someone says something tacky or controversial, or they're rude to the servers, or they send the servers back and forth 10 times, I'm noting all this, and I'm just tucking it in my titty like, okay, you's a hellbound heathen, and you was raised by wolves, and I note that. And then afterwards, I'm like, well, I don't think this is gonna work, because you're uncle, you are a heathen, and you won't embarrass me. So we won't see each other past this first date.
Right.
And then, brothers tend to be offended, like, how dare you, then it's all this rah-rah, and then I'm great at ghosting and ignoring, but again, that's very atypical for women. Women are gonna back and forth and maybe give them another chance. But when I notice something or something isn't right, I'm very good at like reading the room or assessing the situation and going along to get along. But I know as soon as I hop my little nugget truck, it's like, oh, do not answer for real, and I'll put a little thing like pancakes and a triangle.
Not pancakes and a triangle.
And then that way I know why I'm not answering that phone call. Because when you put a bunch of do not answers in there without a little,
some notes on it.
Yeah.
Is that
too
grown
much?
man who like his pancakes and triangles is probably the one that dodged the bullet this time.
Is that too much too soon?
But
Too much too soon.
When
That's
there's
too
certain
much.
triggers, like
Anytime on the timeline.
when you know someone does certain things,
I mean, it is.
people that do that, they ain't right. Or people that send service back and forth all the time that are rude like that, they're going to be rude in other instances. You won't embarrass me in front of my bougie family because they're not kind, right? You're not going to overwork this person that's probably already severely overworked due to the pandemic, so I note those things right away and I nip it in the bud because it always, I'm going to say 100% without fail, will lead to something else later on. You notice those little things in people. And yes, some things you can be forgiving about, but a lot of things, if they're just really controversial, they're talking about crazy stuff, they want to start an argument on the first date. Why can't we keep it light, have fun, play pool, bowl?
I mean,
Just eat,
should
try
start
new
a
food. Both of us
argument
have
on the
never,
first date.
had. Why does it have to be so deep and so crazy right away? And if you're that type of person, because you're going to make arguments in other situations, at the family barbecue, at the company Christmas party. I ain't got time for that 6 months from now.
I got 3 things. If you don't wash your hands before you eat, if you're going to be eating with your hands, and if you are loud, like obnoxiously loud, just, getting everybody in the conversation, don't like that. And if you are a cheap tipper, like those 3 things those are big things that just like, I'll give you a chance on a lot of stuff, but those 3, and obviously if you try to kiss me on the first date and I didn't do the halfway, if I didn't give you if I didn't give you an inclination that I was thinking about it, then you should be coming out the whole way. What you say? What was that movie? What was the movie with Will Smith and the dude from Hitch? Like Hitch, give me a little bit. Let me. If I don't come a little bit, don't. You better not come all the way. You bet not. Anyway, but those are my 3.
Cheap tipping is a huge thing. I forgot that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pops, repeat the question for me one more time.
Come on, somebody. Then drink. All right.
I barely mentioned. I mean, that was not ready.
How should you handle differences in expectations or interests that arise during the date? We got a little side.
That was the question.
I'm not afraid by the
Why
answers.
have we just canceled the grown man?
She didn't cancel it.
Triangle pancake.
No. Those are differences, though. I mean, shit. But no.
To say that.
No, hold on. We're going to get. How should you handle differences
how-
in expectations or interests that arise during the date? So if you have a expectation that is this and he has an expectation that is that, or if he's interested in this and you're interested in that, those 2 things don't align. How do you handle those conversations during it?
So for me, I try to always be very optimistic. I'm really kind of like a Smurf. Everybody thinks that I'm like real hardcore, but I'm really like super cool. Like, yeah, it's whatever, Okay, we got a flat. Shit happens. You left your wallet. Again, if you're dating someone that you've been in contact with, you know their name, where they live, then it's no problem. If an adult forgets a wallet or something, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just not that stringent. But if we have a difference of opinion about an expectation on the first date, like the time and you're super late or something like that, that's going to vary from person to person, from day to day for how I feel. Like if I still really feel like, hey, well, shit is still early. Nigga, you on the books for something else because you're an hour and a half late, but I'm dressed. It's still early. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, if I had left the house already or whatever, and I already was going to be sitting there like, what the fuck? Or driving around or whatever, be like, well, nigga. But then when I get there, automatically he gonna be like, "You right? I'm sorry."
But
I don't have no problems getting my investments.
Yeah, but fuck that interaction. I'm talking about like a complete difference of opinion.
Like we argue about something.
I'm not even saying argument. Let's just say this is extreme, so I don't want to do it. I was about to say Trump. I was about to say Trump. Let's not
like
do that.
Politics or
not even
family religion
or how we
like
deal
that.
with our family.
So that goes back.
That's a big one.
that goes back to the premise of your other question that what can't you talk about? So let's not talk about deep stuff, right? Let's just
Keep it light.
let's get to know each other enough to say at the end of the night, okay, hi, my name isn't Summer, my name is Renita. It was nice.
My name
to meet
isn't
you.
Summer.
You know what I'm saying? I just like to work towards connection, and that's no slight. I'm just saying that's, you see, I've been consistent with what I say I believe is the premise for dating. So even when we have a misunderstanding, I take one on the chin too, because you know sometimes I'll be wanting to argue with people when I know I'm right. I just be like, you know what? Again, I'm not gonna blow the date.
That part.
I'm not gonna blow the date because I know that we could be talking about a historical or literal fact. You know what I'm saying? Something that I know, and you don't think I know it because you think that I am only over here. Dang, shit.
I just did. That's it.
You know what I'm saying? Things like that happen on the first date, right?
Yes.
Sure.
We're women. We can't afford to be so crash when we could break a nail, a heel, makeup could run, bust a zipper or anything, and you don't want to be X'd off the list from this person that you like, that you're trying, but shit just happened. So, no.
Interesting.
So even if we have a disagreement, I might just be like, okay. You're gonna owe me when I send you the encyclopedia, original Britannia encyclopedia picture.
Girl, if you don't stop,
I'm
showing your age.
I
had a full blown-
right, shit.
It's on
full-blown-
chat
This is
GPT up in there.
with-
You talking about encyclopedia?
But this is wisdom that I'm talking
I
about,
got you.
though.
I had a
What's the
full blown
sense in-
argument.
Come
I
on,
mean,
with-
I had those too.
I had a
Like,
full-blown
niggas talk
argument
about
with a
it.
guy.
Full blown
This
argument.
again, my first dates happened over the phone.
Okay.
I had a full blown argument about the term sexy. I don't like a man who I have not had sex with to call me sexy. I think it's inappropriate. I think
I
it's
don't.
it's not.
You don't either.
I
You
think
don't either.
I think that
Leave me the fuck
I'm-
alone.
I'm just saying. I think that it's I can't think of the word, but it's one of them things where you just not
It's
cool.
cringy.
You don't you give
You
me
find
some
it demeaning?
your language. You have a very small, like, you
Okay.
can't think of no other word. You couldn't say beautiful, gorgeous, attractive. You had to call me sexy. That means I'm fuckable. That's basically what you're saying. And so the guy's like, that doesn't mean that. That just means that you're sexy. A woman can have sex appeal. I said, but the root word of sex is sex, like what we're talking about. And so he's like, no, the root word means sexable. Like you could have sex appeal. I said, sex appeal means it's appealing to your sexual drive, which we're going back to fucking. Like, why are you saying that I'm fuckable? And he's like, no, you don't understand this. And what I said, to your point, I hear you. I got you. I'm done with this argument. This conversation isn't going to go anywhere, just like this date is never going to happen, because you're not hearing me and I'm not listening to you, because you're not even understanding. Like, you could have said, I'm sorry. And I told him, I said, normally I don't even tell a guy. I just tell him because I liked him. And normally I don't even tell him. Once he say sexy, he's blocked. I mean, he's not blocked, but I just don't answer no more texts. I'm done with the conversation. But him, I was like, let me tell you why it is that I'm upset with you. And I explained to him that, and then he argued his point. And now we never went on a date because he argued his point, and then there's that.
I mean, that's shit. Salute. I had the opinion when you said that, and I was about to argue with you. Now I can't. That's what that is. She said root word. I don't even know her.
You know
That's
what
some
I'm
old
saying?
fucking Greek shit, right?
I totally agree with that. It's so cringy when a guy calls you sexy early on. I also hate when people call their kids sexy, but that's another show.
Yeah.
But I really cannot stand it. I'm like, ugh. So now if I do come on the first date, I'm thinking like, whoa, you want a boy, you know, and not, oh, you want to get to know me, because it's like, oh yeah, and I, for the most part, dress pretty modestly, like I'm a granny nanny in how I dress. So I'm like, ugh, like, why I gotta be sexy right away in the door? Like, it's gross.
I will
hate
say this, and hearing what you all are saying, I do understand. Like, you framed it differently for me, but I think most guys, when we say sexy, it doesn't mean that you're not beautiful or you're not pretty or any of that. Sexy is a very unique quality, and all women have it, but they don't trigger it in all men. So I'll say that, like,
That's interesting.
I think there's some standards, quote unquote, of beauty that are pretty, on the board. Like, I don't think anybody's gonna say Halle Berry is unattractive. She might not be a type, she might not be this, but she's probably industry standard attractive. She might not be sexy to everybody. She might not trigger that, but to your point, to that libido thing that you're speaking to, but it's not necessarily a negative thing. Yeah, sex is actually a pretty alluring quality added to everything else you have.
I usually be expected to be called sexy on a first date. That's probably what I'm going for on the first date. I'm sexy. But, why not? But again, I date people who I have, and I mean, even strangers. Like, I meet guys out and at parties. I done met guys on the way home when I used to work downtown on the train, talking, like, exchange numbers, see each other on the train a couple of times. On Friday, let's catch a later train, meet me over here, let's hang out, like,
Simpler times.
But the only time that I really have, like, really bad interactions with a guy on a date, now I done had some doozies of those as well. You know what I'm saying? Because I'll be like, don't clown with me. Because my biggest thing, me, Pops, I'm a respect person.
Thanks.
I'm a respect person.
Thanks.
So as long as we're not disrespecting each other, then we can have as much difference of opinion if you want. We can end the day, take me home, drop me off, or I'll figure my way home or whatever, pay my half of the bill, whatever. If it gets to that, because we've had a disagreement. But don't get ridiculous. Or when like, I hate when goofies try to trophy me. Because I draw this type of person and this type of person.
When you say goofies try to trophy.
Yeah, I'd be like, that's my girl.
Gotcha.
But just goofies, though.
Gotcha.
I mean,
right. What if you ain't?
What if it's a guy you like?
I mean, but guys that I like and would want to trophy me when they do is different.
It's different.
Because I've also been, again, like I said, I had real life how Stella got a groove back. For real. Went to Nassau and met a little nigga 12 years my junior, and 6 weeks later he was here for the whole summer, flew over here, left his baby mama. I remember that nigga. Exactly. So
I admire that you were courageous enough to do that.
oh shit, oh no. Yeah.
Courageous is a middle motherfucking name. Let me ask this, and then we gotta wrap it because we're a little bit over time, but I do want to end it on this because we got to end how you end the first date. So how important is it? I'm sorry.
Face down.
Sorry. How important is it to follow up after a first date? And what's the best approach for doing so? And I will leave this across the board. Like, interested, not interested, kind of interested. What's the best way? And I'm gonna leave it to the men for the most part. How would you like to be followed up with? Text, call, how soon after? All of that. Chicken, I'm past that first.
If you're not interested, I'd like to be told that. Like, it was a nice date. We'll catch up sometime. I think that's appropriate without actually coming to say, I didn't like you because, whatever reason, you washed your hands too much, or, you looked into my eyes too much, or whatever the reason. If you don't want to, be very clear. I
want you to have clean hands and good eye contact. All right.
But don't wash your hands too much.
But not too much.
We did mention, I think that it is very appropriate not to be on your phone when you're on a date.
Right.
We didn't talk about that, but that was very, this phone should be in your pocket or turned face down so that you can be present during the day.
I think Tahani did say be present.
Yeah, so that includes turning your phone on the upside down and turning the ringer off. That just, whatever. But so that would be if you're not interested. And if I'm not interested in someone, I'll say, hey, this, you said X, Y, and Z. I was talking with a guy and I'll say, hey, you mentioned my ex a little too much. You didn't like how things ended with us, and you talked about that too much. So I think it's not going to work.
Specific reason.
I gave a reason. Like, that way he knows this is X, Y. Hey, you yelled at me during this in particular thing. I didn't think that was appropriate. So whatever. So I'll give a reason. But if I like the person, I would like for them to say, I would like for them to, text me when they got home that night. Hey, I made it home. I had a great date. I'll talk to you soon. And maybe within the next 2 days, I hear from them. That's just me.
Wait a minute, go back. Why am I on a date with a goofy? Because the cool guy did date is 12 and what?
Oh, do not post Jesse's shit up there, please. Good Lord.
How do we get
Put
a chance
that
to see Jesse's stuff later, though? Can we see it later?
It's all in the
I
comments
hate
later.
when
You can
okay,
talk about it
try
later.
and
We're not
try
gonna do
to
this live on air.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
All right, so I think that's.
The idea of a date.
Renita, do not do it. Renita, don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do
Renita,
it.
do not do it.
Don't do it.
We don't do it.
Go ahead.
So
Next person.
Jesse's went crazy. So I love them.
See, this is what I'm saying. I don't be putting these
I know. That's why I say don't read it. So I think that's 100% fair. I think there has to be some type of communication afterwards, right? I don't want people to feel ghosted or all that bullshit. So there's ways to do it. There are a few ways there. Tiny, what do you think? After a first date, good, bad, indifferent, how should communication happen?
If we don't like each other, a text is appropriate. Either way, you need to be a decent human being and physically call. I think Darius. Y'all know I wear glasses. It's a D name said.
As a D Holloway, that's my
call.
man. Billy Tweed,
Yes.
what's up, baby?
Call. Like if a man, again, I know it seems like I'm so cold and so cutthroat, but if he doesn't call, like call, as in voice to voice, to like make sure I got home okay, I'm in the house, then automatically we have nothing to discuss.
Not even a
moving
text.
forward.
What if I say text me when you get home? That's
No.
not good enough.
Because in today's,
anybody
ratchet
can take
days
your phone,
and time, the boogeyman could text you on the phone.
Fair.
And a lot of brothers, unfortunately, they're married or in situationships and things like that. So if you can call me or FaceTime me, yes, you could still be sneaky enough to like hit me up from the garage when you're on your way in the house. But it's slightly better than
I see what you're saying.
a text, right? So if we do like each other, it's like, hey, I enjoyed the day. Like, when am I going to see you again? Quick call. It ain't got to be long, but a call. If we like each other. If we're not feeling each
Just
other,
to ensure you got
a respectful text. Like, nah, I don't think this is going to work out. You were cool. You don't have to be mean. Like, even with the guy that made me go viral, I know I can be like a really smart mouth something. But I was really nice about it. I was just like, our religions don't really work. So, send a respectful text, but ghosting people is so rude, especially at our big age.
Yes.
I mean, how hard is it to send that text and just be kind and say, hey, this ain't it, but I hope you find what will be it.
Had a great time. Vibe wasn't there. Wish you the best. Whatever the case.
Bad.
Nita, Jesus Christ, I'm scared to see what you're going to say.
Ooh, she ready to go in.
First date.
My date is there. Fuck him.
First date, good, bad, indifferent. What's the best way to end after it? So,
the best thing to do, obviously, is to ask for another day. Thank you, good night. I would love to see you again. Let's talk about that.
Yep.
That's the best way to end it, just on a general date. Like, y'all just went out, had a good time or whatever. Or keep the party going. Like, I'm a realist.
keep the party going.
Indifferent, obviously, indifferent is basically ghosting. You know what I'm saying? But if you're both kind of indifferent, like if you're not calling him, he's not calling you, and it was only your first date and you really wasn't interested anyway, then tip your hat and that's it. There's no reason to, internalize that like, oh, and he didn't end it well, or apologize to me for being late or whatever. I wasn't really feeling you. You weren't really feeling me. We ain't talking no more. It was the first date. When it's bad, I think that most of the time I want to know. I know what was bad for me, obviously, but if I thought that things were good, then I would want to know what he thought was bad.
Oh, you want some feedback?
Yes.
But see, I need feedback because it's probably a misconception. I'll be like, "Is that what you thought?"
Fair.
Like,
fair.
Again, knock it the fuck off, sir. See, you finna miss your beat, bro. What is you mad for? But if it's really bad, like he has a real reason. Like, I'm a single mother. Many times throughout dating, guys didn't want to connect with me because I was raising 3 kids by myself or whatever. And other things, I have flaws. We all do. So it might be something that, either way it goes, like it's a thing. But you have to decide. Do you feel like it's worth investing? You got to weigh the good with the bad or whatever. But if it's over, I don't think people are disposable. So I think it's fair that if somebody likes you or at least try to demonstrate interest or put their best foot forward, whether it met your standards or not, to try to show you a good time or show interest in you or what have you, then the least you can do is be like, yeah, thanks, but no thanks. And I would like that, even if you don't want to tell me exactly what it is. Just be like, yeah, I don't really want to talk about it with you like that, Renee. It ain't no biggie. You know, I wish you the best,
Right.
but we're not going to be able to date. That's fair. Like, but I mean, if the motherfucker got on your nerves and made you feel unsafe or was disrespectful or, you know, just out now, just multiple boxes checked down, then yeah, you would just be like, fuck you. And be glad that they like, fuck you. Be glad you made it home safe.
Right.
That you ain't spend no more than $50. And everything's good.
I'm glad he don't know my real name or my
You
real
know what I'm
address.
See, you had many points that I was like, yeah, I do hear you. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up. Ladies, I appreciate having this conversation with you all. I hope that a lot of guys got some gleams of nuggets of how to move when we date, particularly on the first date. There's no right or wrong way, obviously, to do this. Every date is specific to the individuals on it. But I think there are some general ways to move that make people feel safe, that make people feel heard, that make people feel seen, make people feel special. And that's really what you want to do on a first date. And if you're falling short in any of those categories, then it probably wasn't the relationship for you to begin with in the first place. Hey, y'all, appreciate you. Next week, hold on. Let me do this. Sipping s'mores, Labor Day weekend. It's not too late. Hopefully you saw me on the news on Sunday. I appreciate it and love my people to hook me up with that. Sipping s'mores. It's like an hour and a half out of Chicago. I'm not an outdoorsy. Do I look like an outdoorsy dude? I'm not. But I enjoy this shit every year. It's a great time. Come on outside, sleep in a cabin, pitch a tent, bring a trailer, bring a RV, whatever you want to do. It's a great time. Hit me up for more information. I'll put it in the chat. We'll get back to you. But next week's show, we haven't even talked to our guest yet, but we will have Sean back in studio. Sans me. I will be outside studio, and Sean is going to have 3 of our favorite. Hopefully they can be here. We haven't even talked to them yet. 3 of our favorite guests. Bam, Javen, Chris Lee. We're going to have them all in here for studio with Sean to discuss something controversial and fun. Tune in. My challenge to Sean was also to put something on that accentuates her accents. And you already know what that means.
Over there with nephew.
Nephew go work. Oh shit! Oh shit! Bam! Good Lord, Michelle, you already know. All right, we will have a good time. We had a great time this week. We'll have a good time next week. Y'all have a good rest of the week. Oh, I'm sorry. One more thing. Sunday, Black Women's Expo. I am hosting a panel on love and success. I've got 5 great panelists. I will be the moderator. It's going to be an amazing time. Don't know when the last time you were at the Black Women's Expo, but if you happen to be there, if you've been thinking about coming back, show up on Sunday. Would love to see a lot of my people in the room as I get on stage and have a great conversation around love and success and what's that mean for us as Black people. Love y'all. See you Sunday. See you next week. See you at Sipping S'mores. We'll talk soon.